have to admit this is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. I remember very well when this came out. It's a great tune. I mean, the lyrics, written by Dan Hill, who went on to have a massive hit with this song. I think they were a poem to a girlfriend when he was quite young, and then he was teamed up together with Barry Mann, who fleshed out the music for the thing, and we might come back and touch on a couple of the details in the composition. But listen, for the guitar, it's not really a guitar song, very much a piano song. The guitar in the original is a bit of electric guitar and some strummed, maybe 12-string acoustic, but I'm going to create, or help you create, a finger-picking solution to this. We've got a capo on the 2nd fret that puts us as if in C. The original was in D, and the chords themselves aren't very tricky. As you heard, it goes at a fairly sedate tempo. All the chords are very doable. There might be one or two that are a little bit unusual, but nothing that we can't easily get under our finger. So look, let's flesh out the chords for the verse and the chorus. We'll take a look at the little bridge, which is slightly odd, the lyrics at least. We've got an intro and an outro. Once we've topped and tailed that, we'll get some finger picking together, and then finally I've got some details that'll help us make this sound a bit more like the original, despite the fact that we're limited to a single guitar. Now there's a 6-bar intro that kicks off the song, but I'm going to pick this up from the verse. We'll go back and look at the intro when we start to put some finger picking together. And pretty much always we've got a single chord per bar. There's a little bit in the second part of the verse where we've got 2 chords crammed into a bar. But for now, let's just lay out C. You ask me if I love you. Now I've got F with C in the bass, F over C here. I'm actually just going to play this as a standard E-type bar chord, barred on the 1st fret. It would be a standard F, except that I'm not playing the bottom string. You ask me if I love you, I choke on my reply. And here's the first odd chord here. This is G over C. There are a couple of ways of playing this. This will seem at first glance a bit weird, but bearing in mind you've played this F, all you need to do is move that up 2 frets and take off whatever finger you've got there, that 3rd finger, and now you've automatically got that G over C. I'd probably refinger it to use my 3rd finger instead of the little finger there, but that's all there is. And then we're back to a chord of C. You ask me if I love you, I choke on my reply. And I quite like to see links between songs and things that happen at certain times. If in the 4th bar here we had played another F over C, you would have this. Which is it's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, obviously, but your song, let's just say, that was recorded in 1970, and it's inconceivable to me that Barry Mann hadn't heard that. Anyway, we've got a different song here. 4 bars, C, F over C, G over C, wherever it is, and then C. We finished the first half of the verse with a bar of E minor, A minor for a bar, D for a bar, and G. It's all fairly straightforward. So if I sing that through for you, I will just say that that D bar, we've got the capo on the 2nd fret, we're already pushing the pitch of the guitar a little bit. I might wrap my thumb around the 2nd fret of the bottom string just to give us D over F sharp. That gives us a bit of heft in the bass, if you like. That gives us a bit more kind of bottom end, that makes it a bit fuller. Anyway, I'll just strum through. You ask me if I love you, I choke on my reply. It's way too high for me. I'd rather hurt you honestly than mislead you with a lie. Okay, first half done. And as I say, we'll do some finger picking and we'll bring this to life a little bit. Now we carry on. This is where it gets too high, you'll be glad to know. In the playthrough, I'm playing the melody on the saxophone, but for now I'm either going to screech or come down the octave. Who am I to judge you? So D minor 7, G7, and now we've got this little rundown of 4 chords across 2 bars. On what you say or do. Let's just go through those. There's a C, G over B, which is just a G chord with the 6th string missing. Although when we start to pick, I'm going to move that finger that I've got on the top string down to the 2nd string actually, and not play the top string, down to A minor. And then I'm going to lift up that 3rd finger and with the little finger, C over G. What you say or do, F. I'm only just beginning to see the real you. And we stay on that G for 2 bars, and that's the whole of the verse done. Let's just sing that one time. You ask me if I love you, I joke on my reply. I'd rather hurt you honestly than mislead you with a lie. Who am I to judge you, what you say or do? I'm only just beginning to see the real you. Sometimes, and we're into the chorus. All right, let's look at the chorus now. We kick off C, F, G, E minor. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much. A minor, and I have to close my D, and again I'm going to bring my thumb around, eyes and hide. And there's another run down here. It's G, F, E minor, D minor, which doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but a bit like the previous one, when we start to finger pick, we'll follow the bass line down, and for this one it's G, F, E minor, D minor, but I've got a little thing here that we're going to do that's going to help us navigate that more sensibly. I wanna hold you till I die. Same again as the first line. Till we both break down and cry. D minor. I wanna hold you. And then I can't pitch these notes. F over G. Till the fear in me subsides. Okay, that's that. D minor. F over G to C. And we finish this, we take up really what is the beginning of the intro, and we haven't looked at that yet, but these are the 4 chords we need. C, C7, F major 7. I could play it this way, which is like an A minor shape and then an added finger down on the 1st fret of the bottom string. I could just play that on the top 4 strings, 3, 2, 1, 0. I might do this though, which is like an F major 7 over C. Anyway, I want an open top string there. Once I've got that, I'm going to finish with F minor 6, where I'm just barring across the top 3 strings at the 1st fret, and that's the end of that when we go back and do the 2nd verse. So if I can, let me screech through the chorus. Sometimes when we touch, the honest is too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. I wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. I wanna hold you till the fear in me subsides. And we're into the 2nd verse. So the intro, which we still haven't looked at properly, then verse 1, chorus, which we've looked at, verse 2, which is exactly the same as the 1st verse, 2nd chorus, exactly the same, except that this just ends with 2 bars of C, and we don't have the C, C7, F major 7, F minor 6, we just have 2 bars of C, and that takes us into the bridge. In those 2 bars of C, there's a kind of a thing on the piano, there's a little chord change that we might catch when we look at some details. But for now, let's get into the bridge. We've got our F over G again. At times I'd like to break you, drive you to your knees, which is kind of a dodgy lyric if you think about it. But anyway, it's 3 bars of the F over G and 1 bar of C major 7, which is just a C with that 1st finger off, 2nd string is open. At times I'd like to break through and hold you endlessly. So there we go, another 4 bars plus an extra bar of F over G. If you notice in the verse we ended with 2 bars of G, otherwise it's a 16 bar structure in that verse, but we just extend it with an extra bar, and we do the same thing here. We just got an extra bar of F over G, proper soft rock ballad style, and that sets us up for the final verse. So let's just have that bridge on its own. The times I'd like to break you, drive you to your knees. The times I'd like to break through and hold you endlessly. And times I understand you. And we're into the third and final verse. Now what happens here is we go into the verse is the same, we go into the chorus, which is the same, but at the end, this time we have yet a different ending, and the ending is the ending to the song, and we end with C. It's the first 4 bars of the verse, but in reverse. That's C over G, G over C, I should say, F over C, and back to C, and that would be the end of the song. So again, I'm just going to pick up the last half of the chorus. I wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. I wanna hold you till the fear in me is up. Now he goes, sides, which I'm not gonna do, sides. Okay, that's it for the chords. So let's now look at some finger picking that we can do. And actually, I'm going to start with the intro. As for the chords of the intro, we've actually already seen them. They're the last 4 chords of the first chorus. C, C7, our F major 7, however you're going to play that, and then our F minor 6. But in the intro, additionally, we just have 2 bars of C to get us ready for the verse. So the intro, just with the chords, is this. I love you, and that's how we start the song. But in the piano there's a little melody that actually I think is worth getting together. It's this in the first bar. So let's put the tab on the screen, and I've got this. Okay, so I'm picking the top 3 strings, coming down from the top string, first string, second string, third string. Then I'm bringing my first finger of the left hand over to bridge across the top 2 strings at the first fret. And then right after that I'm bringing my little finger onto the 3rd fret of the top string. Okay. At the beginning of that bar I'm also just going to pick the 5th string. Okay. Now you could do a couple of things in the 2nd bar, but if you listen to the original you get this. That's the 3rd fret of the top string, 1st fret, and then twice the open top string. So what I might do there, and the chord changes to C7, I might just do this. Okay, and then form the C7 but not actually play it until we're ready to play that final top note there. So all together. Something like that. That's the kind of idea I've got. Otherwise, nothing very special. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the F major 7, just a kind of random pick thing because it's kind of a little bit spacey, quite dramatic with that F minor 6. And then I'm going to pick up my proper pattern on the last 2 bars of C before we go into the verse. And this pattern that we're going to look at now is going to stand us instead for really the whole song. You might strum in the chorus and the bridge to kind of build the dynamics a little bit, but that's the pattern we're going to look at. So one time, if I can, let's just have the intro, something like I Want to Play It. And we're into the verse, and let's look at this picking pattern now. So the finger picking pattern I've got fulfills all the requirements of a pattern really. It's reliable, it's 4 beats, it's steady. We start with a bass note which gives us a harmonic context. It's easy to apply to all the various chord shapes that we might want to throw at it, and it's not so tricky that we can't do a bunch of other stuff at the same time. For a C, it's this. So I'm going to just play thumb 1, 2, 3 in fingers. I've got my 3 fingers on the top 3 strings there. First finger on the 3rd string, second finger on the 2nd, and 3rd fingers up on the top string. For a C chord or an A minor, say, or that F over C, the G over C, my thumb is going to be on the 5th string. For a proper F, the E minor, a G, my thumb's going to be down on the 6th string. But that's how I'm going to start. So it's worth making sure you understand where your thumb is supposed to be at the beginning of the chord. That's important. Then I'm going to more or less repeat it, but I'm going to bring my thumb up to the 4th string. I could be alternating bass. Johnny Cash sings the Downhill Songbook, but it's a little bit too country and a bit too clunky, that kind of idea. I'd like to bring the thumb up to the 4th string, and that makes it a bit more melodic, takes it out of the realm of the bass. And as for the fingers, rather than playing the top 3 strings in ascending order, I'm going to play the 3rd string, 2nd string, and then back to the 3rd string. That kind of a thing. It gives us a lot of scope, particularly, and I'm inclined to overdo this, that note on 2 and, 1 and 2 and, the top note, we only hear that note once, and it's right before the beginning of the 3rd beat, so it's just before the middle of the bar, and it creates a little syncopation for us and just helps to give us a feel of moving along, a kind of a rolling feel. Okay, so that's what I've got. Obviously when it's a G chord, well then the thumb is down on the 6th string, as I say, you just need to sort your thumbs out. The D minor and the D minor 7 chords, we're going to be already up on the 4th string with that thumb. I might just stay there. There are a couple of places, of course, where we've just got 2 chords in the bar, so only 2 beats per chord, but in those cases I'm going to have a look at something a bit special to do there, something more customized. But for now, let me see very slowly if I can just pick my way through the first part of the verse, and that should give you an idea how this works. That's the first half done. Now we get to our D minor 7, to G7, and now we get to this. Okay, we'll look at that separately. And for the D minor 7, C over E here, where we've got 2 beats each, we're kind of slowing up and building momentum here. I might just play 1 chord each, or you could just play the first half of the pattern twice, that would work fine. Then we're into our G. We've got 2 bars of that G, but I'm going to look at something to do there as well in a moment. But first, let's go back and look at that 4 chord run where we have this thing in the second half of the verse. In bars 11 and 12, actually, the second half of the verse, we have this. Who am I to judge you, or what you say or do? It's this little rundown of 4 chords, each one lasts just 2 beats. There's a descending bass line, obviously, and we can harmonise that easily enough with notes at the top. For the C chord, we want the open top string. Then we want, for G over B, I mentioned before that I'm going to stick my little finger there on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and that's the top note that we're going to play. So the top line is moving parallel with the bass line. A minor, again, that note's moving down, open 5th string in the bass, but 1st fret of the 2nd string. I'm going to stay on that 1st fret of the 2nd string, but my bass is going to move down to the 3rd fret of the 6th string for C over G. Oh, what you say or do. Okay. And what I'm going to do then is flesh this out like this. And it's this. I've got my 3 fingers on the top 3 strings, thanks Wu. I'm going to play those in reverse order and then come back to the 2nd string. Obviously the thumb is going to play the bass. When I go to G over B though, because I want the top note to be on the second string, I'm just going to move my 3 picking fingers down, and I'm going to stay there for the others. Who am I to judge you, or what you say or do? I'm only just beginning to see the real you. And we'll look at that little detail there that I've got on the G, which also reflects what happens in the piano. The previous bar though, the D minor 7 to C over E, that's another place where we've got 2 chords per bar. I guess there, we just want to play the first half of the pattern twice, if you like, because that lasts half a bar. Thumb 1, 2, 3 starting on the 4th string for the D minor 7, C over E, the thumb's going to move down to the 6th string, and then I've got my 2 bars of G. Let's look at that now. This is a fairly straightforward idea. I'm going to play the standard picking pattern on the first 3 beats. Thumb 1, 2, 3, thumb 1, 2, 1. But on the 4th beat, I'm going to pick the open 4th and 2nd strings. On the next half beat, right at the end of the bar, I'm going to bring my 1st and 2nd fingers down as if they were playing a C chord, 1st fret of the 2nd string, 2nd fret of the 4th string. I might hammer that, I might pick those, but then my 3rd and 4th fingers are going to move to the 3rd fret of those 2 strings. So all together. Okay, that takes us into the following bar. We've still got a whole bar of G, so we're just going to busk it and just kind of fill out there because that wants to breathe. And who am I to judge you, or what did you say or do? I'm only just beginning to see the real you. Sometimes when okay, and then we're finally into the chorus, and just another couple of details to pick up. I guess when I put the sheet music up for sale, I'll add an extra sheet at the end, an extra page with all these little details that will probably help. Alright, there's another rundown, 4 chords across 2 bars in the chorus. It's G for 2, F for 2 beats, E minor for 2, and D minor for 2. And again, it's at a point, a kind of cadence point where we're just building momentum, lots of drums and so on the original at least. I'm going to do it this way. Which is fairly straightforward. I've just got 5, 4, 3 here on the 2nd, 3rd and 4th strings. I'm using my thumb and 2 fingers. You could use 3 fingers. I quite like to use the thumb at the beginning of a phrase like that. I guess it just helps to keep things a bit more solid. Anyway, that's the G. Then I'm going to move it down 2 frets for the F. Now I'm going to E minor, that bit of an E minor that's obvious, that's 2, 0, 0. And then I've got this 0, 2, 3 for the D minor. I mean, you might be strumming at this point, but if I were picking, and if I can get this together, sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. Okay, that's what I've got for that. We've got another detail to look at now at the end of the 2nd chorus, and we're almost there then. Let's take a look at that now. Okay, I promise this really is the very last of these I'm going to do, and this one might be a bit daft trying to shoehorn this in. At the end of the 2nd chorus, nominally we've got just 2 bars of C before we get into the bridge, but we're building here. If we just sit on 2 bars of C, we don't really get much. In the original recording, there's a lot going on, loads of kind of bashing drums, bass, pianos going, the strings are going 10 to the dozen, and it's all these chords moving in a syncopated fashion, all on the offbeat. What I've got for the guitar is this. 2 beats on a C, but my fingers are picking the 2nd, 3rd and 4th strings. Then I'm going to move them up to the top 3 strings. I'm going to stay with my thumb on the 5th string. Then I'm just going to pick the top 3 strings of a G chord, top 3 strings of an F chord, top 3 strings of a C chord, and then come back down to the middle 4 strings where I started. The thing is the timing of this. So all those chords, the G over C, the F over C, the C, which is what happens on the original, and you could just play the chord shapes, but this kind of matches what the strings are doing. They're all on the offbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And that takes us, as I say, into the bridge, and that really is everything. That one might have been a bit of a challenge too far, and when we go for a playthrough, which I'm going to do now, I might chicken out. I might not play that. I might just cut my losses and play a couple of bars of C there. All right, well, that's all I've got. I'll put the sheet music up for sale. It should match exactly what we've done here, and of course the original recording too. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.